Health Minister Zweli Mkhize and his son Dedani will have been referred, in fact, to the National Prosecuting Authority by the Special Investigating Unit. The SIU wants the NPA to consider charging the pair with corruption for the payments received from communications company Digital Vibes. The minister and his son are among 20 people who received money from Digital Vibes, which the SIU says was unlawful. For more on this, I'm joined by the author and investigative journalist Pieter-Louis Myburgh. Pieter-Louis, thank you so much for making time. So the president is still sitting with the SIU report on Digital Vibes. He said a few things were still being finalized, but an application to recoup the 150 million rand by the SIU in the special tribunal is really helping us understand a bit what the investigative unit has found against the minister.
It really is, Clement. Good afternoon. And it's quite useful in light of the fact that the SIU report, by all indications, is not going to be made available anytime soon. I think the South African public is quite eager to get to the bottom or to have a further sight of what the SIU had uncovered so far. It's a little bit concerning that we have not been privy to an SIU report that has been, as you mentioned, sitting with the president for a while. But fortunately, having said that, the special tribunal process at least allows us a glimpse into the SIU's workings and what they are finding. The two reports, or the two sets of work, of course, are two different platforms. The SIU report is for the attention of President Ramaphosa, whereas the special tribunal proceedings are, as you mentioned, to recoup some of the monies, to ensure that the contract is set aside and declared invalid and so forth. But there certainly would be more than enough overlaps to give the public a sense of what the SIU is currently busy uncovering, and in all probability what the president is also well aware of in terms of this contract.
Yeah. The court papers also, they indicate that Mkhize put pressure on the Health Department Director General via repeated text messages to approve the communication contract for this company. In fact, the papers say at best, this conduct on the part of the minister was improper. At worst, the conduct of the minister was unlawful, right? That's what it says in the affidavit. I want to know if you think the money that the minister is expected to pay is enough, because from the court papers, the SIU wants the minister's family to pay back around 4 million rand, right? Having looked at the flow of the monies from the health department to the minister's comrades and then to his family, is that all his family needs to pay, or could it be more?
Clement, I think the answer to that question is kind of up in the air, because the financial cash flow analyses, which is quite a painstaking and time-consuming process, that certainly is ongoing. So us, for instance, as an investigative journalism outfit, we are currently still, tracing funds as best we're able to ensure that we have a full and proper understanding of where all the money went to. But the SIU at least is well positioned now to recoup, I suppose, most of the money that would have been spent. So we have to keep in mind it's not only this 4 million rand now earmarked for recovery from the minister's family, but also, more than 100 million rand from Tahira Mathur and Adira Mita and this whole kind of band of individuals who are really driving this contract and who were the masterminds of this scam. But if certainly the SIU process, it's not a final matter. Luckily, if they do uncover further flows to the minister's family, then all avenues are open to them to legally pursue those two and ensure that the money is paid back.
Yeah. Tahira Mata, as you've mentioned, it seems to be the central character here. She's going to have to pay back a lot of this money.
Yes, and the question always, Clement, is whether these individuals have held on to enough of the money to actually repay it. Frequently, in my line of work, the kind of corrupt contracts we've researched and exposed, it certainly shows that the perpetrators of this kind of corruption definitely are very profligate when it comes to the money. They like to get rid of the cash quickly, burn it, spend it on luxuries. So I think on the one hand, there might be a little bit of cash that the SIU can actually retrieve from actual bank accounts where the money is sitting, but they might also need to pursue litigation whereby they freeze assets like possibly fixed properties, vehicles, or whatever means they can to regain some of the money that was lost.
Yeah, thank you for making time. Author and investigative journalist Pieter-Louis Myburgh.